It's not Sunday.
Oh, yeah, I think he said something about Megacable.
Megacable, man.
I wish these motherfuckers might show up to my house.
Look.
Let me.
She's about to talk normal. Watch out.
Right.
Watch out.
She's about to blow your ears back.
You gotta turn her down.
Really? You're gonna bring a Megacable? Well, do your Megacable thing. I got one more thing on my list. Go.
So
it kind of goes with your Megacable thing, and you'll see in a minute.
So we went. Before we left Mexico City, I booked cable and internet. I did. I had to breathe. So they were supposed to install no later than the 1st or 2nd of August. When the 2nd came, they weren't here. So on the 3rd, I called. And I got a recording and it just hung up. And every time I called, it happened. So finally, about the 12th or 13th, we said enough is enough. We waited too long. And we got a new company. They called on the 21st at 4:45 p.m. talking about let me come and install. Motherfucker, you are 27 days late. 27 days we waited for you. Kiss my ass. You are not getting one single peso from me.
At least not for the next 6 months.
No, from what I was talking to my coworkers and they all said Megacable is the worst company in Puebla.
But they got the highest speeds.
They have the highest speeds. And they have a great deal.
We need more speed.
Yeah.
We have a need.
They have great prices, but apparently their customer service is the worst. I said, how do they stay open? And they said they don't know. They don't know how they do it.
Just wait.
What?
What are we waiting for?
That's what they told you. Just wait.
Oh, yeah. I'm so sick
and Daddy had the bright idea.
No. The just wait was the people.
No, Megacable, every single time I would go online and chat with their online people.
Our washing machine that has to come.
That's what it was?
Just wait.
Every single time I would contact the Megacable online, they would say, just wait. And then this week, the 12th, I ordered pantry and washer because we need a new washer. And the website said 2 to 5 business days for delivery. When I finally get the receipt, because it took them more than 24 hours to verify funds, whatever that means, and when I finally got the receipt, it said estimated delivery date August 29th. I'm like, what the fuck happened to 2 to 5 business days? And I gotta wait 15 days now? So we got the pantries this week, and I contacted the company and said, hey, where's my washer? Their answer was, just wait.
Just wait.
Then Daddy had the bright idea after this whole debacle happened that when Mommy asked me to do something, I would say, just wait.
I just happened
I wanted to see how
I almost got cut.
I literally wanted to test out and see how long it took before the stabbing began.
I tried to hide in the pantry.
Very funny. All right, last thing on my list. I'm sure people have seen this story. This is from August 12th. What is today?
The 24th.
The 24th.
Yes, this was from August 12th, so it's a little far back, but it's very interesting. A back-to-school sale at a gun store in Texas.
No, I saw that.
Gun store in Texas faces backlash over back-to-school sale on firearms. 50% off firearms and calling it a back-to-school sale. What the F? Are you kidding me? Who owns a gun store and is such an idiot that they put on their sign that they're having a back-to-school? Why would you even want to equate in this day and age back-to-school and firearms? I have a feeling that in the 80s you could have this sign and nobody would care. Like, no, everybody would see it as what it was. It's a sale. Like everybody else, they have back-to-school sales for everything else. So why can't we just call it back to... The reason for the sale is this time of year. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. So I could see that in the 80s. today, after all these shootings, after all this stuff, and you're gonna put that like school and shooting go together? You all do realize that they now have backpacks that are bulletproof.
Yep.
You
And
know?
they're like, okay, this is what I don't understand. So a reporter asked Trump, what do you say to the children who are afraid to go to school because of all the gun violence? The parents are trying to buy these $100 and something backpacks for their kids to help protect them, like a backpack is going to do the job.
Well, hey, if they're running away, it could.
They could
It's a backpack. If they put it on their back and they move away from the shooter, that it is a.
I mean, it's something better than
Captain
nothing.
America used to put his shield on his back. Think about it.
So Trump's response was, "Oh, our schools are safe. They should be good. We don't have to worry about any of that. You know, they're gonna have a great time when they go back to school." These are kindergartners learning how to deal with active shooters. These are kids who are being traumatized at the thought of going to school because they don't want to die.
But that's our reality. I mean, you got to.
That's their reality.
You got to teach. Well, I'm saying our, as far as Americans, that's our reality in our schools.
I gotta tell you something before I forget.
You had a fucking stroke.
Talking about schools. So yesterday they were going through what's gonna happen with the first week. And they were talking about this is what time we do this and this is what time we do that. And I said, they get to recess and I said, okay, what time is recess? And she told me the time and I said, and we take them down to the playground. And she's like, no. I said, well, who comes and takes them to the playground? Because these are 4-year-olds. And she said, they can walk. They can walk by themselves. I said, wait a minute.
They could walk last year too.
You're letting a 4-year-old walk downstairs?
Oh my God, a walking 4-year-old!
What? What kind of magic is this? And the principal just happened to come in when we were talking about this. And she said, why would we walk our students anywhere? We might take them to the new classes, so like the extra classes, the art and music and whatever, because that's actually out of the building and across a parking lot. But why would we take them down to the playground? It's right there. And I said, last year, we had to take our kids everywhere,
Even
including
6th graders.
the playground. I said, from 1st to 6th grade. She's like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I think middle schoolers got walked around too.
And she was like, no. I said, yes. She said, is this a new school? I said, it's been open for 40 years. She said, what's wrong with them?
What is wrong? That is.
And this is a
question.
Mexican principal. She's like, what is wrong with them? How are they going to teach the kids to be responsible? And I said, they don't.
They absolutely don't.
They don't want them to be free-thinking, responsible individuals.
Human being.
They want them to be puppets.
Humans.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah. My list is finished. I'm done. I'm gonna sit back.
Is it time for the Disney?
I don't know.
No,
Is
no,
it time?
hold on.
Oh,
We'll get to Disney Plus in just a
you
minute.
better hurry up. You ain't got much time.
I know. So let's talk some expat issues.
Can we not? Can we
Yes.
just go to Disney Plus? Please?
No.
Can we skip
I've
over
been
that?
asked this week several times about you guys.
Of course you have.
And how are
I
you
wanna know
liking
how
Mexico?
Why do you cut
And
the hair on your face?
how do you make friends? And
Don't.
aren't I worried about your social interactions?
I don't know
And
what you're worried about.
I'm not worried. And
Okay, so what is your point?
my point is, Aaron, do you feel like you need more socialization with
No.
your peers?
Do you need more contact with the females?
Yes. I
No.
do.
No, you
That
don't.
is something.
Guys, no!
Contact
Guys,
with
no.
my peers. Nah.
Contact with the
This is not a thing. I know. Not a thing.
not male.
Why don't you feel the need to have contact with people your age?
Because I see social media and I see people my age and they're all stupid.
Stupid.
And they're all dumb and they all do
Deranged.
dumb stuff. That's why I feel like a higher life form. Because they all do stupid things.
Well, okay. I mean, if you were at school with them, you probably wouldn't call it stupid. You would just say, this is what my friends do.
Right. But then I wouldn't be living this life now, would I?
Maybe if you were at a school here, you know what I mean? I don't know if you see it as stupid as much as this is what people are doing. It's a common thing.
The way I see it now is dumb.
That's only because you're looking at it from the outside.
True.
Right? Okay. I don't understand your question. I don't understand why you're asking the question.
Well, because there are times that as a mom, I feel guilty that the kids don't have friends outside of the house. Because they have friends, but they're all, like, they communicate via the internet.
Sorry, no. Keegan has friends.
You have
Plural,
a friend.
I have friend.
Yes, a friend. And so there are times I feel guilty, like, okay, maybe I need to get them into a class, or maybe, but then when I talk to you guys about, do you want to go take some classes? Do you want to go meet some people? You know, and they're like, you're like, no.
But you do understand that every child would say no.
No.
Every child,
When
unless
they
it was
were young, they
no,
didn't
I'm
do
saying
that.
unless they really wanted to do that thing, they're not doing it for. They weren't doing it back then for socialization.
No.
They were doing it because they wanted to do that thing.
And there were other people who happened to want to do
Yeah.
that thing at the same time.
So,
But don't try to do play dates.
I was not trying to
That's-
do play dates.
That's what Grandma tried to do to us. And
I don't treat
we
you
told
like
her no every
infants.
single time.
you know, they're gonna meet people. I mean, when I kick him out next year, literally boot to booty, you'll see him flying across the street or whatever. Or like Jazzy Jeff getting thrown out the house. You know, then he'll make a friend.
I swear they played that same clip throughout the entire show. They just did it once.
Oh yeah, they did it once.
And then just kept
Just
that
covered it,
clip
covered
and
it.
played it over again.
You don't even change his clothes. Nope. I don't see the problem. I don't feel guilty at all, so I don't see the issue. But I also grew up with not a whole lot of friends either. So
Yeah,
it's
and
not,
I have.
to me, it's not that big a deal to, I guess, have a very small circle of people that you're dealing with on a daily basis. That widens out and it contracts and it just happens. If you let it happen or like naturally and you don't force it, you could probably make much more lasting
Yeah.
connections than if you're, I gotta get you over here so you can see these people and you gotta get you over here. And I think in China, that's what they did to their kids.
Yeah.
In Thailand, that's what they did to their kids. In Mexico, that's exactly what they do to their kids. That's why you're getting those questions, because they think it's necessary to be in a group of people. One of the people said when we were about to leave a training on, it was a training about the computer room, which for me really doesn't mean anything because my kids come to school with laptops and iPads.
Right.
So I have no reason to go to a computer lab with them. But they were giving us this training and it was all in Spanish. But then the guy starts telling us how to be teachers. And I was like, why am I hearing this from the computer guy? It's like, get me out of here, right?
Right.
And look around the room. Nobody's listening to this guy. So I get the Spanish teachers have to be here, but we don't, because we don't understand what he's saying anyway.
Right.
So it's like, let's go to the other room and you give us this information if it's necessary for us to have.
Yep.
So as we're leaving, or before we left, our boss goes and has this they have to ask permission for everything.
Which is crazy.
Which is kind of weird to me. But he has to ask, and when he asks, one of the reasons that they wanted us there is so that we didn't feel bad that we weren't part of the group. And it's like, but we're not part of the group.
Right.
So you want us to feel like we're part of the group while excluding us while we're in with the group. It's like, what kind of sense does that make? And it's so, I was livid. I was truly angry. One, about the computer teacher telling me how to do my job.
Who isn't a teacher?
That absolutely got under my skin.
IT guy.
You know, it's like, work on your 1990s computers. Do not tell me how to be with students. I get that, students in Mexico have certain norms that are quite different than the rest of the world, which is fine. But you're not giving me good information. They were talking about dumb shit like don't touch a student, when we all know that Mexican students like to hug teachers and
kiss
all
them
this
and
so it's like it was a weird thing. But my thing is, you're trying to make us stay so that we feel like we're a part of something that you're excluding us from.
Yes.
That makes no sense to me, but that's what they want. Like for Aaron and Keegan, they want them to be there while they're not going to be necessarily participating in whatever it is they're there for.
Yep.
You know, and it's like it's a weird idea, but they do this to their own kids. They do this thing where it's, you know, you must be a part of something. You must be a part of this thing. It's like, no, I kind of don't need to be a part of this thing.
I remember when I think it was our second year out of the country, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said, well, are the kids still taking their kung fu classes? Are they still taking their ballet classes? Are they still doing this? What kind of things are they doing? And I'm like, they're just living outside of the country. They're learning a new culture. We don't have them in all these extra classes anymore. And she's like, but why not? They need these things. We have to. And I said, no, you don't have to rip and run them every single solitary day of the week. You don't have to take them to this class and that sports and this. And you don't have to do that. And she was dumbfounded that I would not insist that Aaron and Keegan continue with all this. And I just said to her, well, we have more quality time with our kids because we aren't constantly in the car on our way to some place and hurry up and go.
That person, she didn't want quality time with her children.
Well, she did. I mean, she just sees quality time differently. Like,
well, you can't really see quality time.
She
thinks that
it's important for them to play sports. It's important for them to go to the classes. And her job as the mom is to then go and watch the kid play sports or listen to the band concert.
But none of that's quality time.
Right.
That's not.
Not spending time with your child.
They're prioritizing these other things as being necessary. All right.
Can we do the Disney?
Let's do it. We gotta do it quick. You gotta
One of
go. Don't you have to go in like 5 minutes?
No, I gotta go at like 11:35.
See? 5 minutes.
So our school is using Netflix until December. In all the classrooms they can use this. And then we're using Disney Plus. And when I came home and told Stu about this, he was like, we need Disney Plus.
No, I was asking, do we need it? Not that we do.
Well, from what I understood,
I just learned about it this morning.
The questions that you were saying last night made me think Aaron wants Disney Plus.
Yeah, no.
All right, hit it. Tell me, teach me about Disney Plus because I know nothing.
Disney Plus launches on November 12th.
Oh.
Thank you. Keep going.
It's $7 a month.
Uh-huh.
Which is
you can talk faster.
It's like half the price of Hulu and way less than Netflix. And then I have shows. So there's 2 Star Wars shows. One of them is The Mandalorian, which is a spin-off with Billy D as Lando.
Ooh, Billy D.
And Obi-Wan.
Have you seen Billy D today?
No, should I look him
not.
up? He's not the Billy D of the past?
He's
Oh my God.
Not
He is
attractive
definitely
man anymore.
an old guy.
Yeah. There's an Obi-Wan Kenobi series with the guy that played Obi-Wan in the 3 Star Wars movies.
The prequels.
Yeah.
Keep going.
There's 3 new. Yeah.
Aunt Bunny definitely has the Billy D look now.
No shit.
There are 3 new live-action shows that were announced at their expo. One is about Miss Marvel, then there's Moon Knight and She-Hulk. Those are 3 characters.
No, wait a minute. What about the Loki show?
I'm getting there.
Oh God, you're so slow.
I'm
The
learn-
people,
I'm
they
gonna
need this
learn
information
about-
badly.
I'm gonna learn about Moon Knight later today.
Okay.
The other shows, Hawkeye is a show, which I
I know.
don't know.
Mhm.
Hawkeye,
I mean-
WandaVision, Loki, and The What If, which is animated. And something
But it
about
has all the voices from the people who are those characters in the live action.
something about a Muppets show.
Oh God.
All they said was it was an unscripted short series about Muppets.
Not the Muppets.
Okay,
That's all they
Muppets.
say.
Did you say about Muppets or about the Muppets?
Well, the Muppets.
Like,
it's Muppets.
no. You
Is
can
it
have a Muppet that's not the Muppets.
Okay,
The
I don't know if
Muppets
it's
is
specific
Kermit and
cast of
all of
the
those
Muppets. I don't know.
Muppets.
It might
Elmo
Is
and
Sesame Street
stuff.
owned by Disney?
possibly.
Okay,
that.
Sesame Street doesn't have to be owned by Disney for them to do Muppets. They
Or
have
Jim
to.
Henson?
Jim Henson and his
Right.
troupe
Like Lucasfilm.
could be part of Disney. I don't know,
Right. I don't know either.
but they could have
There wasn't any other
did some contract
information.
between the two companies.
There wasn't any other information about the Muppet things. They just said Muppets.
So,
Oh well, you know that the Fraggle or not Fraggles, but the Dark Crystal.
yeah.
That show is coming out, and that's Jim
That's-
Henson, and that is
That's
Muppets.
Netflix though. Isn't
But I'm saying
Oh.
they're still doing stuff.
So when are all of these Disney things going to be removed from all the other platforms?
Already
They've already
happened.
been removed.
That's already happened.
Wait, so I can't watch any of the Marvel stuff on Netflix right now?
You can't watch anything new.
Anything? What did they say? Anything Phase 4 is not going to
Gonna
be
be
on
on
anything
Netflix.
else. It's going
It'll
to
be
be
on
on
Disney.
Plus.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Well, clearly
And
not everybody.
Everybody knows
And
that.
I'm pretty sure the new shows happen when Disney Plus is launched.
Well, yeah, they're gonna do their regular. I mean, they gotta have their new programming, and
Yeah.
they'll schedule the new shows.
So is
and
this
then they'll
something
have
we
them.
need to add to
But
our...
wait a minute. What about all the old stuffs?
I think they're just.
Are we getting everything?
Are the things coming out of the vault?
Like everything? Because we couldn't even do that with VHS,
No?
and we
Or
couldn't do it with DVD,
They didn't say.
and we
that they
couldn't do
were-
it with Blu-ray.
Nope.
They said that they were putting the whole MCU on it.
No.
No,
That's
no,
not
I'm
saying-
talking.
The whole
They didn't say
Disney
anything about the
shebang.
Yeah, they didn't say
Are they
anything about
opening
old,
the vault?
old Disney.
Can we
stuff.
have the vault, please? I want to see Song of the South
God.
on streaming.
I-
I want my zippity doo
I have
dah
a feeling that's not gonna be
streaming.
on there.
Why?
They
Why
didn't-
not?
They didn't say anything about.
No, they
opening
did
the
say
vault.
something about that. They said they have not been told if Song of the South is going to be on the streaming service because it would be highly offensive today if it was. But I want to know. I want it on there. I want it there. I want them to see what Disney did back in the day.
Yeah, I don't know if they're opening the vault.
I want them to break out all that stuff that Disney did for the propaganda, the World War I, World War II stuffs. I think it was more World War II than World War I, but yeah, I want them to bring all that shit out too. Let's call it historical, so everybody understands. Throw a disclaimer up there. Put that shit on there. I want to see it.
Aaron, the legendary Disney Vault will be permanently open for the company's new streaming platform.
See?
As Digital Trends reports, the subscription service Disney Plus will include digital versions of every movie in Disney's library, including the hard-to-find titles currently sealed away in the vault.
The hard to find Song of the South.
So there you go.
Y'all sing Zippity Doo Dah, but y'all don't know where Zippity Doo Dah comes
I
from.
do. I've seen it. We have it.
I haven't, but that's a whole other thing. I'm not the vault.
Well,
You're-
kind of
you're-
have a
you're-
vault.
you're
I'm not the vault. I'm not locking the vault. I ain't closing the door. Shoot, I'm like a library.
You know, we did.
Best place to bury the
Are you
lies.
done with Disney Plus?
It's the best place to bury the lies, man, in the library.
Are you done with Disney Plus?
Are you done?
That's it.
That's it?
All done.
Got
I have
anything
one
else?
more thing
You
before
better
I
hurry up,
go.
man. You gotta go, man.
Let's talk about the differences between my materials and your materials for the classroom.
Okay. You're gonna have that talk. You can start talking about it. I'm gonna go and back away slowly. I'll be back in a moment.
Okay,
You start.
so
I'll be right
on Monday, I was called in and said, okay, it's time to pick up some of your materials. And I got an entire gigantic box full of manipulatives for my language center, for my math center, something else. But this huge, huge box. And so then I had to go in and put it all in a spreadsheet and say, I have these items. For the rest of the day, Monday, and part of the day, Tuesday, and then again yesterday, my coordinator kept bringing in items. Here, I want you to have this. Here, I want you to have this. Here, I want you to have this. And then as she would bring them in, I would have to add them to the list. I had so many manipulatives, I don't have a place to put them. So that was Monday, Tuesday, and some yesterday. Then on Thursday morning, I was told I had to go down to the first floor and pick up my paper materials. I had an entire section of notebooks, folders, calendars, blah, 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 that I had to take to my classroom from the government, plus exercises that we'll do during the year. I didn't have a place to put those either. So then Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock, they said, okay, let's go. We have to go pick up our materials for the classroom. I have never in 17 years of teaching ever had this many materials ever combined in all the years. I can't stress to you. I have pictures. We'll put them up.
Oh, we will, Lily.
I'll put them up.
You're gonna put them up where?
On the Instagram and the Facebook and maybe even the blog.
You're gonna be like, we'll put them up.
No. It's gonna go there.
But
bing, bing, bing.
I had 2 huge boxes of stuff, and the boxes were so big that it took the maintenance man a moving dolly, like one of the appliance dollies. He had one box and took it to my classroom, and then he came back for the other box because both boxes would not fit on the dolly. It took me all day yesterday to put this stuff away, and then they brought me some more stuff, and I didn't get everything that I was supposed to get on Thursday. There are still things that I don't have. And then I was told yesterday that I have a teaching kit that I'm supposed to get with my tape dispenser and scissors and blah, 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 that I was supposed to get yesterday, but will probably get on Monday.
Oh no.
I don't have room for this stuff. I got like 3 bags of rubber bands, but I already had a huge container full of rubber bands. I got like 6 boxes of binder clips, but I already had 4 huge boxes of binder clips. I don't understand. I've never seen this before. Ever.
Well,
so let's talk about
got
yours.
we could probably do your picture in a slow
I'm looking at the picture now. I got a pencil, a black big pen, a red big pen, and some pretty glue.
And
wait, I didn't get that glue from her. Why was it? I think I already had the glue.
And don't forget your whiteboard eraser.
And the whiteboard eraser that is about that thick.
Oh, yours is thick. Mine's not that thick because I got one of those too in my box of goodies. Part of my box of goodies were 2 2-pound bags of gummy bears. And then I got 4 boxes of microwave popcorn. And they said, oh, the chocolate, we'll bring the chocolate later. And I'm like, what the hell do I need chocolate for?
For them days, man.
Apparently.
You know that there are those days where chocolate is necessary. So yeah, I took a picture of
your second round of
the stuff.
Sadness?
Apparently, I don't teach English anymore, and I teach Historia.
Maybe it was
Because
supposed
they
to go
brought
to the
it-
other guy.
No, it wasn't. They took a plastic container and tried to decorate it, and it's all like blinged out, and it looks terrible. It looks like a little kid did it.
Probably did.
Yeah, but they could have kept it. I would rather have just the plain plastic thing. But for some reason, they gave me crayons.
I
And
got
I
50
teach
boxes of crayons.
Middle school and no, they didn't give me crayons for everybody. They gave me one of the small boxes
24 box of
crayons. That's not a thing to share.
No.
That's a thing for me.
These are my crayons.
It's like, I don't.
What are you supposed to do? Mark the test in crayons?
I don't know why they did this. Like why? It's almost disheartening. Like why? Why is this? You. It would have been better for you to give me nothing, almost.
Yeah.
Because you're not giving me enough to do anything really with any of these things. So it's like, why would you ever give a teacher one pencil?
Well,
You know, I mean, you can't give them to the students, and you have one pencil.
Well, that was something like
one pen.
I was like, okay, so because I didn't have space to put all this stuff away, I started distributing like their pencil cases and the erasers and pencil sharpeners and crayons and colored pencils, and they got a 4-pack of whiteboard markers for each kid. I just started putting them in the cubbies because I needed space. But then they gave me like 3 of 5 different colors, 3 of each. And of these whiteboard markers that were supposed to be for me to use. And when I went to go put them away, I found an entire tote full of whiteboard markers. Now I'm still carrying in my backpack, I won't be on Monday, but I'm still carrying the whiteboard markers that we bought it for the other school so that I had whiteboard markers to use in the classroom.
Yeah, because we kind of had to have our own whiteboard markers at the last school.
And I had to buy my own eraser for the last school twice. So I have an abundance of everything and like all the plastics, the tacky stuff that you've been going through, like water in your classroom. I bought some. I only used a half a pack because I didn't have any in my classroom, and then I just got 6 packs of it.
Yeah, I get everybody's different and how they do their stuff, but what does it say what does it say to a new teacher at your school when the teacher gets like what we got, because we all got the same thing, and what are you telling that teacher?
Well,
about your
materials
school?
come from your students. My materials are bought for my students.
Well, isn't that what the materials should be for?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, shouldn't it be for the students?
And the thing is like
or for the teacher to use for the students? Like,
I was talking about all the materials with the woman who had my classroom last year. And I was just like, you had so many things. I got 50 boxes of crayons, but you already had 25 boxes in there. And she said yes, and during one of the meetings, the teachers were complaining that they didn't have enough materials. I said, I'm sorry, say what now? And she's like, well, they were complaining they didn't have toys. And I said, there's a difference. Toys and crayons are not the same. This school is now promoting play, but we don't have any toys in the classroom.
So it's hard to play.
Right. And so she's like, well, I always ask them to bring things from home. And I said, but if they're spending money on tuition and that's what you're spending in materials stuff, why do I need 75 boxes of crayons?
I don't understand why they don't just take it all back, especially since there's so much overage and it's new from last year.
Yeah.
Why not just take it back, reassess it, and go, okay, we've got all this stuff. We've got plenty of stuff. We don't need to buy this. Let's put the money towards things like you're saying.
Toys. Pay
Put
the
the
teachers
money
more.
towards the toys this year. Give all this stuff back to the teachers. Like next year, give all this stuff back to teachers so they'll have all the stuff that they normally get. But they'll also have the toys on top of it that they're actually asking for.
Well, from what I understand from my team, they asked for 4 bags of popcorn for each classroom. We got 4 boxes of 3 bags.
Like I said, it's just somebody making
just
a decision.
wasteful.
Right, it's just somebody making a decision, whereas they could have gone to, Hasbro and said, we need 1,000 of these.
Hasbro?
What? Why y'all hating on Hasbro?
No, we're not hating on Hasbro.
Why
The Game
can't
Grumps. He made me watch an episode of the.
Why can't we talk about the guy?
I Hasbro. You Hasbro?
Oh God, that's just bad.
It's horrible.
It's worse when she does it.
I know.
Great when they're
You should.
into it.
You.
I'm not
You're
cool.
not
Do it right.
You're not a cool. You're not.
I'm not cool.
You're not hip.
You can't.
What is
internet.
hip?
Like I can't.
You can't internet.
All right.
All right, I gotta go.
That's it. All right. If you want to find the traveling Farrs, read the paper. You want to find the traveling Farrs? YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, and the Google Podcast. You can find us at The Traveling Farce. If you like the Instagram or the Twitters, Traveling Farce. If you like email, travelingfarce@gmail.com, and the blog space, thetravelingfarce.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry. We're out of here. Say goodbye to people.
Bye, people.
Peace!
Gotta go.
I'm preparing.
Prepare for what?
The game chat.
There's a game chat?
Yeah.
We're doing one this week?
Yeah, I have stuff.
Really?
I've got
Yeah.
the things now.
Go check out the game chat. Apparently there's gonna be stuff this week.
Mom, here, take this to mommy because she's being cold.
She left without taking stuff on.
Karen, they're calling you.
I'm here now.